Good morning, everyone. This is Black Forest coming to you with another market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the AUDUSD, also known as the Aussie. Okay. So before we get started to break down this chart and this currency pair, we have to state this video is for economic purposes only. Is for educational purposes only, about educational and economics of the currencies, okay? But it's for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. But we all know why you guys are here. You guys are here to find good, credible Forex content that can help improve your ability as traders and help make you more profitable, okay? And also, here we do the hard work for you so you don't have to. We figure out all the economic factors and the geopolitic climates that's affecting the currencies. So you guys do not have to figure that out. All you have to do is watch our content, take what we say about the fundamentals, wait for that technical analysis to reflect the fundamentals, and trade accordingly. The only thing we ask that you guys to do is please like, subscribe, and share. The liking and sharing helps bring more traction to our videos. And once you subscribe, you can actually get notifications for when the videos have dropped. Okay. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and break down what's happening with the currencies in the chart. Now, before we break down what's happening on the chart, let us discuss what is happening with the. Let us discuss what is happening with the with the with the currencies, okay? So we're going to talk about the AUD before we actually discuss what's happening with the USD. There's a lot of things happening with the USD, a lot of turning parts. We want to get into it all, okay? Now the AUD did have some strong economic news come out about it during the opening of the Asian session yesterday, during yesterday's beginning of the Asian session. So it is technically classified as one of our stronger currencies heading into this New York session. But it still has a dark cloud of inflation hanging over it. The inflation actually growing over the Australian economy is actually starting to grow and grow very rapidly. This was because when the world started being suffered from just global inflation as a whole, Australia government did start to took an active role to immediately combat it, but it was almost trying to turn back a tide that it was eventually going to come anyway. And now that tide is hitting the economy. Okay. And that's only just due to growing gas prices and due to geopolitical events as well. It's not actually due to no actions that's happening with the Australian government. Okay. And with the Australian economy as a whole, is basically an effect of all its major trading partners in the East, its trading partners in the West, and also at the fact that they cannot get Russian goods as well, raw goods as well, is also starting to take a negative effect on its economy. Okay, so despite that, we had some good news coming out about the Australian dollar during the opening of yesterday's Asian session. We do have an overall weakness and dark cloud surrounding the entire Australian economy. Okay, so it is actually one of our weaker currencies going into this trading week. Okay. So now let's discuss what's happening with the USD. Okay, so about 30 minutes prior to the making of this video, around 8:30 Eastern time, we did see the CPI numbers come out about the USD. So CPI means Consumer Price Index. How much are consumers paying for goods, for everyday goods? That's basically what that number ranges. And what we're starting to see with these numbers that came out was that the inflation is about to hit its peak and it's stagnating. So it did grow some, right? So it technically did grow, right? But it did not grow as much as what people thought, as much as it possibly could have been. It could have been a lot worse than what it was now if the American government and the Feds didn't take the interventions like increasing the interest rate and things of that nature to combat the inflation. Okay, and these numbers are a testament to that. And also, when we started to see a lowering of gas prices, right, due to America and OPEC saying that they're going to be releasing more gas into circulation around the world to bring down the prices, right? We also started to see consumers spend more money in the stores, which also seemed to brought down the consumer price index as well. Because when consumers started spending more money in the stores, that means that the companies that supply these goods were able to somewhat start to cartel and bring these prices down. So this is why you're starting to see a drop in gas and a drop in prices in the stores. Okay, so, but to get a detailed understanding of how geopolitical events are affecting the USD from the standpoint of the non-traditional relationship it has made between the dollar, US dollar, and oil, I would strongly suggest that you watch our USD CAD video. We go into great detail explaining what is happening with that. Okay. So overall, we do have a continuing strengthening U.S. dollar, but what we're having is that the U.S. dollar is going to have a little bit of hiccups because it is CPI numbers. The CPI numbers have to get somewhat embroidered into the market, and people got to see how to adjust according to these numbers. But these are overall signs of a continuing strengthening U.S. dollar. Okay, so now we got all that out the way. Let's talk about what's happening on the charts. So as we can see, we've been aggressively going up since January, right? Then we did lose some momentum here. Now we're starting to go down, broke through this market structure right here very strongly. And then now we're starting to go down. We did have a pickup in price, what we thought was going to happen, as said in our previous videos, to around this area here. And now it looks like we're going to be heading back towards the short side. Okay. So there's a couple different scenarios in which this can play out. It can just drop from here. It can actually pick up to probably here or here, range out and go down. Or we could start to range out from this area and can then continue to go down. More likely scenarios, we're going to range out here and then continue to go down. But as I said, we can drop from here, okay? We could pick up a little bit more, range out and then drop, or we can range out from this area and drop from here, okay? I hope this information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.